All right, welcome back to Four Titles, One Truth. I'm Lance.
Yeah, that's a fact. He's in control today. Hey, it's your boy Tommy.
I know it.
And today we're having a conversation that we as men don't always know how to name.
That's right. We're talking about grief and depression, how they're different, how they overlap, and how a lot of us carry pain without ever really knowing what we're really carrying.
Yeah. All right, let's get into it. Okay, let me start here. I think I know, but what loss changed you the most, and what part of you never came back the same afterward?
Because we really didn't. Well, let me get to my father.
Yeah.
When my father passed, a lot of things are just like.
Hero.
It put things into perspective. It had to try to build back my. I don't call it trust,
Yeah.
faith, and different. Because it's just like it's a hard thing to grasp and to understand. Those why questions and it had to be my father because again, I think before my father passed, my uncle passed before him, a few years before my father, and it's a different feeling.
Yeah.
Because I felt, because because I was close with my grandmother too. When my grandmother passed, and that was back, that should have been over 20 years ago, 97. But I was like right when my career was starting and everything, and I felt that. But things kept on going. It wasn't like losing a parent, losing a parent, and I'm sure that it's even different when you lose a spouse or a child or something like that. I couldn't even imagine those, but
the same. I will say this though, that when my dad passed, it was a combination of, within a year and a half, I lost my brother, my grandmother, I lost my great aunt, and then I lost my grandmother. And
all in that same.
All within 18 months, yeah. It was rough for me, but through all that time, all I kept saying was, Mom, what she's going through. So
Right.
That was what was crazy about it. And for me, I sort of lost a little confidence when he passed away, because, like you, I started to question, and it wasn't me that I was questioning, but I was questioning faith about, how can you do this to my mom? All this in a row, and my mom, and she's, like I said, the most faithful person and walks by faith,
Right.
person that I've ever known. And in the Bible, and then everybody tells you, it makes you stronger and all that stuff. I'm just like, come on. So my confidence in myself and in religion, all that stuff was just challenged, and it took a minute for me to. I was angry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was angry. So it took a minute for me to get back. And the worst part, same for you, is you're on duty.
Yep.
So you still, like, I was an instructor, so I had 30 days, but then I had to go back and find myself again, so I can be a daggone instructor and lead and teach with confidence at an NCO academy. So.
Yep. Ooh. So when you're grieving, it doesn't always look like sadness. For you, what did grief look like on the outside, and what was really happening on the inside?
Well, it's the thing. So, being an instructor who knew he was on his way to drill sergeant school, the outside had to be the same person. And I know that me trying to be the same person meant I was changed. I was a little different. So luckily, when I came back, it was another cycle. So I'm sure that if I would have came back on the same students, they would have seen a difference.
Mm-hmm.
They probably would have saw something was wrong, understood what was wrong, but it would have. I wasn't myself. So grief on the outside was the same. On the inside, it was like you call home and your dad don't answer the phone no more. You know.
That's not even that, man. I would call my father if I had a question about
see,
something. I mean, up
yeah.
until I would call and be like, "Hey, Dad, what do you think about just to run stuff by him
Yeah.
and
No
not
problem.
being able to do that, or not even thinking, and something comes up and grabbing the phone and starting. It's like,
Yeah.
so I mean, I know, yeah.
Mm.
I mean, I know, just like you. I mean, I was sad,
Yeah.
but I was,
It
in that.
it's reoccurring.
Yeah, I mean that
Yeah,
sad, pissed off,
Yeah.
and it's just like one of those things that just it would. I mean, it was was like a circle thing,
And so when my dad retired, he was always answering the phone. And that's where, no matter if I called to talk to him or mom, it was all, hello.
You pick it up.
You know what I'm saying? And then it ring and ring and ring, and then mom get it, and you're just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And then I'd also say that at the funeral was the first time I cried. Second time. So I cried when I was first notified. I was sitting, I was on break.
Okay.
And I was sitting back in the instructor's desk area, office area, and my aunt Carla called and asked me if I was sitting down. And that's the first thing you're like, oh Lord, what happened? And then she said, your dad passed away, and I just collapsed, man. And my boy had to come and pick up the phone because nobody would expect me to break down crying like that, and that's because of the way I carry myself. And I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm saying it was unexpected, and so he was like, "What's going on?" So he picked up the phone, and then she told him what happened, and then all I remember, he kept saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm so sorry." Whatever. And then from that point forward, the sergeant major, the commandant, wouldn't let me leave that day because she knew I was shook. So I had to wait till morning, and I left super early. I had to call her before I left, but I left super early. And going home from that point until the funeral, so it was probably about a week, I didn't cry, because my whole focus was trying to be there for my mom, and so then I said before, couldn't sit down anywhere, and I was on the front row, my dad's casket right there, and just it just hit me hearing everybody talk about how proud he was of me, because my dad was not like, he was not the reach out and touch kind of father.
He didn't express it all out in the
not at all
open to you like that.
But he was always there. You know what I'm saying? And it took me years to really understand his type of love, or his love, how to love. And those are the only two times I cried for years, man. And so I just. And then after a while, I don't know if it's maturity, I don't know what it was, but after a while, stuff on TV or something, because the first time I cried again, and I know it's years later, but me and Nikki were in Korea.
Because that's been, 2004? 2004,
Yeah.
okay.
And so I was in Korea in 2016, 17 and 19. So she wanted to watch This Is Us. And I'm like, I've heard it's all,
It's a good show.
And I'm like, but I didn't know, I was like, whatever, okay, we'll watch it. I didn't know the father died in that. I didn't know all this stuff. And man, we're watching the episode where he died, and I'm just like, I'm ironing my uniform, man, for the next day, and I just broke down, man. Couldn't do it, so I don't know if Nikki knew it would be good for me or whatever, but But ever since then, like I went to church the other week, two weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago, and the pastor he was telling a story how he found out his father passed away right before he was going to preach in another pastor's church, filling in for him. So he's standing up, ready to go out the curtain right to the church, and it's one of those that's filmed or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So the producer is like, okay, we're going to count you out and blah, blah, blah. And so he said, wait a minute, I got a phone call, because he never really got a phone call like that. And he told him his father passed away like 30 seconds before he walks out to go out and preach as a visiting pastor. And so he's telling that story, and then he was like, this is the first time that his father will get to see him preach, because he had just converted to be a preacher, and now his father's in heaven, and he's telling that story. And it just messed me up. I'm in church, man. A big old dude. So, but yeah, so it's
grief is man. It's a God.
Yeah.
I mean, because you can go through. I mean, it could just be listening to us, because I'll be out now. I mean, mine is happening in 2021.
Yeah,
but I could be out walking the dogs, and a song or something to come on, and I'm sitting there, just start crying. I'm sitting there crying. Yeah, especially if it's in summertime, then I'm good because I'm sweating. Yeah, but I'm sitting there crying, and the dogs, they'll stop, look back.
They feel it. Yeah.
They don't know what to do. It's like, just keep on going. I mean, but it's just, certain things are just certain. When I go home, I can walk into my parents' closet, and I can still smell his the cologne, or stuff. I can still smell that, and that stuff it'll hit me, and it's like, one of those things that's like takes your breath away. But man, it's
there are older men that wear the same type of cologne my dad, and I walk by them, and all of a sudden I'm like, what just happened?
Yeah, well,
and don't even realize what it is.
What I remember about a couple of weeks ago, and you said, man, I was my sister sent me this picture of a guy wearing the cardigan sweaters that my father. I was like, so you sit there like.
Yeah. So the story is, my sister on Amazon, she saw a cardigan that looked just like the one that not only my dad wore, but the one we took our family picture in, and that thing was $400 and so that's the way I told him about it, and I was like, that shook me. So yeah, it's crazy, man. All right, so there's a point where grief can shift into something else. When did you realize this might not just be grief anymore? This might be depression.
Well, because depression is clinical, and grief is not a clinical diagnosis.
A feeling.
Yeah, I mean it's when you feel like you can't do anything, or feel like you're out of. I mean, I guess feel like I'm getting out of control, or not able to control my feelings. Right. Then it's like, okay, something else is going on. I feel like that I can't get out of a funk. Yep. Yeah, because with grief, I think it comes in, for me, it comes in episodes. So it'll come, and it might not be sadness. It could be a happy thought that I'm thinking about that, what you call it. But the depression, being depressed is it's more of I need some help with, I can't, I'm trying to like, because you do certain things where it's like, oh, I'm going good, but you know that you're not good, so those are the moments, or the times where it's like, I need to go talk to somebody. And I mean, after my father passed, I did talk to a clinician, a therapist for a few months, just because it's like, I don't want to be that angry person, or to project out on them like that, or project out on my staff and stuff on them, because I'm like, that's
or fall below your performance.
right.
Yeah.
Because it's like, because I mean, and that's where like both of them, again, for me, kind of mesh was, it's like, I don't want to disappoint my father, or disappoint his name, or how he raised me or anything like that. So I got to get control of this piece over here. And then the other piece of it is just allowing myself to
Let it out.
grieve, and be sad. I mean, just allow myself and tell them it's like, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to feel like that. So
So I'm the opposite. I don't talk to nobody, and that because I in my mind I needed my strength for my mom, and then I needed my strength to carry on. Because like I said, I was a staff sergeant promotable. So in my mind, I had so much more left.
you're a younger. I mean, you're a younger person with a
still
different
leaning forward,
mindset.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't talk to anybody. I was not. The only time I ever talked to a therapist until I made the rank of sergeant major was for drill sergeant. And that was the easiest clinical situation I've ever been in. That lady asked me to answer these questions. Well, she read off the questions, and then, okay. And people told me before you go in, hey, don't say you sad, don't say, go in there, say yes, yes, yes. And so I didn't understand. I didn't understand what was available for me because I didn't even understand how to use it.
Okay.
Okay, so that was all jacked. But I'm trying to remember. So I think I was grieving hard, but like you said, I was able, because of the job and stuff going on, I was able to recover, right? But I didn't really. I can't remember. I don't think I fell into depression because I was so busy holding it off.
Okay.
Right. But I will say that when I retired at my ceremony, in my speech, a part of it was, I hope I made my dad proud. And when I was writing that, I didn't cry. When I was writing it, I was just like, okay.
It didn't hit you,
Yeah,
or it hadn't hit you yet.
Because I felt I was successful because of him, right? Because of the characteristics that I carried that he gave to me, because of the mentality that I got from him. And so one of my biggest, and I guess you might say it might be depression, because everything that I did in the military, I did it because I wanted him to be proud of me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like when you said about how your father was able to promote you, I'd give both of my arms and legs for that. Even though my mom did it, my mom promoted me to sergeant major, the only time I ever been promoted by family. But if my dad and mom would have been able to been there, like I said, I'd give my arms and legs for that. So, but when I had my retirement speech and then I went to say it, I started to break down again. Just come man.
Falling back and hitting.
Because I started to say, oh my gosh, why couldn't he be in the audience, or oh my God.
Yeah, you want to see him. I mean, that's, you want to see him.
You want him to, because I always wanted my dad to say he was proud of me, and that just wasn't in his, the only time he ever said it was when I joined the Army, you know what I'm saying? So I just always was seeking that, even though he wasn't even around anymore, so. Yeah.
So in the community, we often celebrate life at the service, the homegoing, the gathering, the love. But what was it like when you went home afterward and it got quiet?
Yeah. I of course, didn't live with my parents when my father passed.
Right.
So while I was there, my whole focus was, first off, the house was empty,
Mm-hmm.
because he wasn't there. But I had my sister and my mother, and then family coming over every day. So you really don't have time to grieve, especially when I felt I needed to be strong for my family. And then when I left, my son was there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it was my son, my sister, and my mother were all in the house. So that was where my fake strength was focused. And then when it was time to go back to work, my mom came back with me, right? Because I wanted to get her
Okay.
out of the house. So once again, focused on her. So she came back to, I was in Virginia at the time, and she stayed with me for about 40 days and then went and stayed with my sister.
Okay.
Now, when she left, the apartment was very quiet. It was a 2-bedroom. It was very, very quiet. And
Left you there with your thoughts and your
yeah,
feelings and
but now that I'm thinking about it, I started going out more. I was an instructor, and I started going out. So like on Thursdays, we'd go bowling,
Mhm.
we'd go to the club, and I started drinking more. And then, yeah, oh, wow. So, yeah, my way of dealing with it was just throwing myself out of the house.
that was your coping mechanism that
just
you were using.
getting out of the house, work, and then staying out to party, and then staying out to go to the club. So, and then I ended up getting a job as a bouncer. Yeah, so I mean, it just dawned on me.
So you tried to get busy.
Yeah, I stayed away from the apartment. So I stayed away from being by myself. Wow. That's crazy. That just messed me up, man. Yeah, so that's how I dealt with it.
Mm.
And I didn't stop that. From that, I went on to be goodness gracious. I went on to be a drill sergeant, and didn't have time to myself again. So I think by the time I was by myself and slowed down from instructor to going out and all that stuff, it was I think it was far enough away that it went back inside, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And then that's when I was telling you how I just broke down one day. So, wow.
You just bottled it up,
And just kept
canned it up, or
Yeah.
however you want to put
and
it. So,
just didn't want to be by myself.
mm.
It never dawned on me before.
Ooh.
And my temper was back up to where I've always had a temper, but there are times when I've been able to control it.
Just short.
When life is going, when life is
Got
going
real short.
well. But,
Yep.
wow.
I mean, I know that was mine. That got short. But when I went home,
Goodness.
it was because I had a younger sister, older brother.
Yeah.
So we were all there, with
yeah.
my mom. So it was like, okay, and that's my question was, okay, what's my role now in the family?
Oh, that's right.
Where do because it's like I don't.
You're the middle.
Yeah, I'm the middle child,
and the
and I don't
older
want to.
son, yeah.
And my sister was there with lived in
Yeah.
same town, city where my parents were. So
You don't want to step on toes.
no, I
Yeah.
didn't want. Because I know
Add
that
to the pain.
because I know that what my sister did for my parents.
Yeah.
While I'm out stationed
She's
all
there
over.
every
Yeah,
day.
she's there
Yeah.
every day. So
Yeah.
being respectful of her feelings and what so it was one of those things where we was trying to just talk to each of my siblings and see where each one of them
Where you could help.
were, and knowing that my sister was going to be there and she was going to move back into my parents' house to help my mom out and stuff. So seeing what she needed and what's like, hey, talking to my brother, to try to like, okay,
Needing help.
this is what Shannon's gonna do. What can, because it's like you can't. Everybody's grown. Everybody's adult.
Yeah.
Everybody has they have their families and
you're the guest.
careers. Yeah. So so it's just trying to see where I fit in there, where I'm gonna be most helpful, most useful. What to try to help pick up that I don't call it slack or whatever, but just the things that my father did, for the family.
Right. Well, you didn't want your family to fall.
No.
While you're there, so
Yeah.
you go in
So
there with all
just
the
trying
energy.
to, yeah. And it's still to now where it's still like, okay, I can do that. I can do,
So what happened when you went back home?
when I went home after everything was
after the funeral, after you left your family.
It was. It's the feelings and it was sad.
Yeah.
I was sad just because it's like, okay, wasn't getting rid of things, but it was like, can I have, ask my mom, can I take this or whatever for, just if it was a T-shirt, if it was a knick-knack, something where it's like, can I, because I, just worried that something was going to get thrown away or misplaced. And it's like, it brought back a memory of not just my adult life, but when I was a kid, a child too, or whenever I was in high school and he was taking me around to wrestle, or he was there, at football games and things. Just things like that. Because we were going through
Because dads don't throw anything away.
No, I was going through my storage unit the other day, going through bins and found a bin full of all of that stuff where it was just like, and it caught me where it was like, oh. But going home is, it's a lot better now. But those first few times, within those first few months, that first year, it was hard. And then just trying to get my mom, getting her to keep on living, and to live life and not
enjoy.
Not
fall into a hole.
not go within herself where she can't, turn into a hermit where she can't do anything. It's like, Daddy wouldn't want you to be sitting there like that. It's like, come on, so just getting her to the point where she was comfortable and didn't feel guilty or so it's and I feel like now I feel good about that piece of everything. I still miss the hell out of my father, and that's just a constant thing. And I think that's what grief is just. That's a constant. I don't think you ever get rid of. You can't ever get rid of it. You can't ever control it. Yeah. You can't ever determine, which piece of the grief cookie pie piece of the pie that's gonna hit is gonna be the sad part. Is gonna, or what you talking about, song or movie? Something that clicks in your mind, But I'm glad that I don't have or haven't had the depression problem, where it's like, because depression, you can categorize that and you can get diagnosed different things for that to try to help. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with it. And if you have that, there's nothing wrong with it. Get it fixed and under control, because that's what I was afraid of, because I wanted to not have that short temper. I didn't want to endanger my family because I'm driving and I'm pissed for no reason, or pissed for a little something stupid and get into a wreck. I didn't want to come across in a way to my people who were working for me or anything like that. So it was a constant it was hard. You know that it was hard at first to even to care any. I mean, that was probably the big thing was like, screw this. I mean, because a lot of this. I mean, because I had a lot of the stuff. It was I wanted to same as you want to make my father proud.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And who, So I mean, whatever that motivation, you know, and then like that motivation was not, like wasn't there anymore.
The therapy helped you find it.
Yeah. I mean, because I mean, that let you look at like my family, and it's like, my family, you know, my kids, they were my motivation. Now, you know, so it's just those different things which they were. Whenever we had them, you know, and not thinking about it that way, but it was just so the death of that one person who I feel like
was your world.
Well, just shaped me, you know, shaped me and helped me, gave me that base, that middle layer, whatever, to be able to do what I was able to do and be the person that I am. It's difficult.
I'm with you. So that was that's the main reason I brought Mom. I convinced Mom, and thankfully she did it, to come back and just not be alone in the house.
Right.
You know. And then she also had her brothers back home, you know, but then one died. It was just
I mean, and that's the thing about with my mom too, is that my father still had brothers, and I still had cousins. Family was there, and they were all awesome as far as going to take care of us. Checking on her, making sure things are treating my mom like they're like my cousins. Treat my mom like their mom, you know, and checking up on her and doing those things. But my sister has been I mean, my sister's a godsend. I mean, she been there. Doing doing all of the things, you know, and I know that she's it was rough on her because she was really close with my father too. So I mean, it really hit her in a way. So I mean, that's the other thing too, is I was trying to be sensitive of her feelings and try to take, you know, because it's just trying to take care of her whenever I was. Whenever I was trying to grieve at that time.
Same.
So
absolutely same. This is a hard one. So who taught you how a black man is supposed to grieve, and what did teaching cost you? What did that teaching cost you?
Because you know what, I'm gonna tell you, whenever I don't know,
nobody.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see it, because even when my father's mom died, I did not see him cry at the funeral, or I mean, I did not.
Never.
I didn't see. I've seen my father cry before.
I've never seen.
But I did not see him cry. I mean, I know that he was extremely close with his mother. You know, but I did not see that from him. But I tell you, I did see my father. I mean, we were out. We were out, this was probably, we were out, helping them stain the deck.
Okay.
One time on the back, staining the deck, and a Sam Cooke song was on. I can't remember which one. Deck. Sam Cooke song came on, and he's sitting there singing it and just crying.
Really?
So like now it's like,
you get it.
Yeah, you know, it was something in that song that made him think of. His parent, you know, that just that triggered that thing in that grief in him. So, but nobody. I don't recall anybody teaching or telling, and I don't know if it's I think grief is an individual. Is an individual
but you
thing.
Can still, you could, like, for instance, my son. I told you I had communication with him, and his grandfather passed.
Right.
And so I was able to convey to him, you know, that not before it happened, but after it happened, I was able to tell him that, you're never going to forget him.
Right.
You're forever going to have memories. And I told him, the last thing I told him was, if I could have you do one thing, it's now start talking about it, so that it can become more of a
Right.
normal thing instead of waiting for it to hit you while you're ironing your uniform.
Yeah, I
So
mean, but that's still, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
because I mean, I agree. I mean, you can't be afraid to talk about it, and it's not wrong
no.
to talk about that person. I mean,
But
it's a
I was
good
just
thing.
saying that nobody ever, like, I've had grandparents pass,
Hmm.
I've had uncles pass, and nobody's ever come to me and
It
say,
said you need
"Hey,
to can talk. Yeah,
this is this is what's going to happen, or this is what you're going to feel, and this is a way that you
that's
can."
true. Yeah, that
So
nobody ever came to
yeah,
talk about it in a way like that.
right,
Yeah, in that
right.
manner. So
And so so for me, there was nobody I remember when my grandfather passed. I think I was like 10, 11, something 9, 10, 11,
hmm
somewhere around there, and uh, it was just the way it happened. So my grandfather was like 82, and he used to ride his bike. And one day there was a sidewalk that was cracked,
hmm
and his wheel stuck it, and he flipped over and broke a rib. Yeah, 82 now. So they get him to the hospital, and he was there for a couple days, and he was feeling better. So we got to, because he was in Danville, Kentucky.
hmm
So we drove down to Danville, Kentucky, and we was able to see him like 2 days. And they were talking about letting him out in a couple of days. So we went. It was our second night there. We were actually staying in his. He stayed in a retirement apartment complex,
hmm
and we were staying in his house. And so that night, my mom, all four of us, mom, sister, and dad, at the hospital. He was there, okay, wasn't like on a bunch of machines or anything. And uh, we said good night and see you tomorrow. So we went home, wake up, eat breakfast, and then go to the hospital. The hospital wasn't that far from the apartment, and his room is clean, and he's gone. And we found out that he passed away that night when we walked into the hospital that morning. So my mom broke down, was like, "What? What do you?" He was just, he was doing well, and so Dad took me, and we went for a walk, and I don't remember the conversation. I just know we
mm
went for a walk, and but that was the closest thing that I can remember of us walking away, just me and him. My
like getting
sister
away
stayed with
from it.
him,
Yeah,
yeah. So, and that was just weird the way that happened. But
and maybe it was just knowing that somebody they know that they were there.
yeah, and
I mean, because I know that. I mean, because that's what I remember about any of my uh, any death that we had in the family. That I remember that everybody was there. You know, everybody was there. Everybody was very respectful, but and they would also talk about.
Yeah.
You know, they weren't afraid to talk about the person.
And my dad was different though, right? So my dad didn't just give advice. You know what I'm saying? It was like he like had to be in the mood to do it. And that was my feeling for a while. But what I now believe is he didn't give advice when he wasn't sure I was receptive.
to
You
it.
know what I'm saying? Where my mind, because when I was young, my mind was, you think my mind run fast now. Just imagine how it was then. So, and this is no slight, whatever, but I was called knucklehead more than I was called my name. You know what I'm saying? And so, and that's another thing that hits me is, especially when I was retiring, is that I'm not a knucklehead, Dad. I wish you could see this, And then everybody wants to tell you like your dad. I know your dad be proud of you. That don't help. You know, it just makes you go down anymore. So, but anyway, yeah, it was just nobody taught me because I don't think nobody taught him, and I don't think nobody taught before,
yeah.
and it's just one of those things. But I do know that I talked to my son about it. You know what I'm saying? So, and I only know because of what I've been through as far as my own turmoil, loss, and all that stuff. But then because I was finally smart enough to get counseling, and now I'm able to step out of that I'm a man, form that we walk around in blindly a lot. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's not same. I mean, I talk to my kids too.
Yeah.
I mean, tell them, say, hey, you know that he loved you guys.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah.
Woo,
And that's valuable, man.
it is.
Yeah.
Okay, if a brother came up to you today
Okay.
and said, I don't know if I'm grieving or if I'm depressed, what would you tell him to pay attention to, and what's one step you'd urge him to take?
It's easy. Talk to somebody.
Yep.
Right. Grief, like you said, is something you can recover from on your own.
Right.
Right.
You can come out of it.
Yeah. And when I say, you come out of it, it's way better to say it, because it may not be on your own. It may be a friend. It may be family that helps you out of it. But if you find yourself after a few days not being able to shake it off and not get out of that, I call it a rut. And that's what I call depression, because you're fine, and then all of a sudden you walk down the rut and you can't find your way out of it.
Right.
And just like a car, you just keep peeling out and getting deeper and deeper. But after a couple of days, if you can't sort of come out of it, shake it off, then I'd say talk to somebody professionally.
Yep.
But just like the advice I gave my son is, when somebody dies, you need to talk about them. You need to talk about the good times.
Yep.
You need to talk about, say, for instance, you feel like there was something that was unresolved. And I will go back and tell you this. My father and I, we didn't have a conversational relationship. Most of our relationship was him telling me what to do, or him correcting me, or throwing life lessons at me, stuff like that. Even when I would call when I was in the military, it was like, "You doing all right?" Yeah. He's like, "Hey, all right, well, talk to your mother, let her know that you're doing okay." You know what I'm saying? It was always a quick hello and "you doing okay?" And then it was always, "Well, your mother's worried about you, so make sure you talk to her," or "Hey, call your mother a little more." It was always I call it a deflect, so that he didn't have to get emotional or whatever.
I'm sure you got it from your mom.
100%. And mom, especially at the funeral, because I did talk to my mom about the nonsense that I used to have in my head, that I wasn't sure if my dad was proud of me. And she would always sit there and say, "You have no idea how much he talk about you." And that's what slapped me in the head at the funeral. But yeah, I'd say immediately talk about it. And if you can't get through that, if you can't stand back up at full height and shake it off, then seek professional counseling.
It's turning into something else.
Absolutely.
If you can't. I mean, that's I think where we've been talking about, where it turns into depression. If you can't shake it off, if you feel like you're underwater and just can't, just fighting through it, or don't want to fight through it, or come up from it. I think that's the one thing, is like, if you feel like you don't want to come out of it, then it's like, hey, probably need to go talk to somebody, and not
then
just.
The last thing I'd say, before not to cut you off,
no, you good.
Even if you come out of it, eventually you need to talk to somebody, because one thing I believe with all my heart, everybody has parent issues. We may not remember them, and they're. I'm not saying that they're like hardcore. What I'm saying is there's questions about in our head or things we never resolved that a therapist can help.
Mm-hmm.
If nothing else, pull it out and then smooth it out and help you be a better parent, a better person, and live the rest of your life. Because I didn't do that. And so for years, I was still trying to emulate my dad, and I was putting myself in the same path as him. And what I mean by that was diving into work and exhausting myself.
Mm.
And if I didn't correct it, I was going to mess around and have an early death, that could be possible. So that's what therapy would say. So grief is going to hit you. There's nothing you can do about it. But if you can talk about it and get through it, then you're good, but still see a therapist eventually when you can. But if you can't get out of it, see a therapist.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because everything that you said. It's grief. You can get out of it. But the piece about talking to someone or talking about it will help you get those skills that you need in order to get out of the moment. Because I would say the grief a lot of time comes in. It's a moment,
It's a wave.
and you know what you need to. If it's you just cry it out right there, and then you're good to go after that, then that's what you need to do. Or if you need to go, I need to call this person and that, my mom, whoever to get me out of this, because that's who can help me pull me out of that. But if it's even if you talk to those people and you still can't get out of it, pull yourself out of it, you absolutely need to talk to a professional.
Yeah.
And it is nothing wrong with that. And if they prescribe you some medications, take them. It is nothing wrong with that to get you to being the person who you are. You don't have to live. You don't have to live like that in that fog.
Struggling,
It's not necessary.
And I'll just tell you, like, if you've never had the experience, or even if you have, grief hits you like a tidal wave. Because and I'll describe, and the reason I talk about the
it's a tsunami.
It's
huge, and it'll come down. It slams down on you.
So when I was watching This Is Us, and the finding out that he passed away, and then them grieving it, is what hit me. And the way he died is just amazing. I don't want to spoil it for you. Well, it's been a few years, but anyway, he was in a fire and he was doing well. And that's the same thing my dad. My dad was doing great. And then the next day he's out cutting the grass and falls out on the grass and has a heart attack. And so there were so many similarities there that it just crushed. I had to take a knee. That's how much it was rattling. I couldn't finish ironing because while I was ironing, my eyes started getting wet. But then it just and it was like
it'd take your breath away.
And that's what I'm saying.
It'd take your breath away.
Couldn't control the crying. It was just coming up out of me, and that's the first time since the funeral I'd cried, and that's 14 years. And so, but just like a tidal wave, it's going to come. It's going to punch you, knock you all over the place, but eventually it'll recess. It'll go away, and that's what we're talking about. If it doesn't start to fade away, then see somebody.
Yeah.
Because grief is not depression, but it hits you and you don't know what it is.
Yeah, and I don't think that grief is a bad thing, and I don't think that you're trying to get rid of the grief.
It's a good thing,
but you want to have mechanisms where you can control it and get through it, so that it doesn't take over your day-to-day life.
Absolutely.
Because that's you're thinking about that person who meant something to you, that was special to you, and there's nothing wrong with that.
It's legitimate.
Yeah, and that's just some big feelings.
Yeah.
Big feelings.
Yeah. So look, this is one of those conversations where there's no clean way to end this because grief doesn't run on a timeline. That's what we're trying to say. And depression does not announce itself.
No, not at all.
It does not. It's just
It doesn't. It'll
yeah.
it'll be lurking back there, and then
you'll
it'll get a
realize all
hold
of a
of you
sudden,
and quicksand you right on down where you can't get out of it.
Yeah.
So, what we hope is that somebody listening realizes they're not weak, you're not broken or failing. They're human. I mean, those are all human emotions, and it's okay to name what you're feeling.
Absolutely.
Because then you can do something about it if you know what it is.
Absolutely. And sometimes other people can see it. All you have to do is listen so that then you can see it and
Yep.
then you can get yourself right.
Yep.
But the bottom line is if this conversation helped you, please share it with someone that you trust and share it with them with the energy of watch this, listen to it, and then let's talk about it.
Right.
That would be
Yeah.
the perfect way to do it.
Yep, absolutely.
And if you are carrying something heavy, don't carry it alone. I mean, you could leave a comment and we'll reply back and talk through it. Or if you have somebody, trust them enough
Yeah, absolutely.
to talk about it.
Absolutely, because I know that if they're close to you, they're going to be there to want to be there to help you as much as they can.
Absolutely. Well, don't forget to follow us on social
So
media.
follow us on social
Yeah,
media
you
and
can
all
watch us
that.
on
YouTube.
But
Yep.
the biggest thing is,
Hey y'all, let's keep the conversation going.
there it
All right.
is. Allah.